A very good evening and welcome to the national broadcast. I'm Malsha Dharmavardhana.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Charita Miniprarachi and here are today's headlines. Several more voice tapes of Ranjan Ramanayake have been issued to the media. The Attorney General submits a rectified petition requesting to annul the bail order on Rajitha Senaratne. A draft bill on the withdrawal of the Muslim Marriages and Divorce Act have been presented to the Parliament. Missile attacks from Iran to several US air bases in Iraq. A rise in oil prices in the world market. On to those and other stories in detail now, and starting off with local stories, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has conducted talks with the Minister of Law and Internal Affairs of Singapore, K. Shanmugam, at the President's Secretariat. An extensive discussion has been conducted with the aim of enhancing bilateral relations in the field of trade and investment. The attentions of both parties has been focused on matters of regional importance, including prevention of terrorism, cybersecurity, eradication of extremism, threats and impact of foreign forces, and enhancement of intelligence divisions. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has also conducted the discussion with Minister K. Shanmugam at the Temple Trees last evening. Several issues of bilateral importance were also discussed between the Sri Lankan Prime Minister and the Singaporean Minister at a dinner held subsequently. Prime Minister's Secretary Gamini Senarath, Defence Secretary Kamal Gunaratne, Senior Advisor of the Prime Minister of Economic Affairs Ajit Niwad Kabral and Specialist on International Terrorism Professor Rohan Gunaratne have also participated in the event.
The United National Party says it will take disciplinary action regarding telephone conversations of parliamentarian Ranjan Ramanayake. General Secretary of the party Akhilaviraj Karyavasam at a media briefing in Colombo today said that there is no connection between the conversation and the party. Parliamentarian Akhilaviraj Karyavasam said that the topic of the discussion today is the voice tapes of Ranjan Ramanayake. He has requested to conduct an investigation in this regard through a select committee. He had also called on to punish those found guilty of creating an impact on the judiciary by any means of disregarding rank. He had also called upon the government not to arouse the people by releasing the voice tapes. Parliamentarian Dilan Pereira said that it has been decided to whose case to be filed under the so-called government of good governance. The work has been carried out not to be police but by a committee in the Temple Trees. He further said that Ranil Wickremesinghe, Sajid Premadasa, Champika Ranawaka as well as Anura Disanayake have got together and engaged in these activities using Ranjan Ramanayake. Minister Bantula Gunawardena said that there had been a history in which the judges knelt down before uneducated UN peers, imploring to have their promotion and other privileges. Today, the UNP is unable to walk on the road due to the sheer shame.
And Minister Vimal Veeravancha says that the manner in which the government of good governance has issued the law was amply reflected through the voice tapes of Ranjan Ramanayake. He made his remarks participating in a big debate in a parliament today. Minister Vimal Veeravancha said that they were able to see how an impact was made on Justice Padmini Ranawaka. One by one it is being revealed how the previous regime misused the law. Only 3 or 4 voice tapes out of the many have only come out. It has been revealed through the voice tapes of Shania Besekura how the bhikkhus, army officials and intelligent officials were incarcerated. In the voice tapes, Ranjan Ramanayake has ordered the IGP to put Namal and Johnny in prison and ordered to grant bail to Uday Gambanpilla. In the tapes, Ranjan Ramanayake has been grateful to a judge for withdrawing a case of 4.5 years filed against him at the Gangodavilla courts on creating a sexual abuse on a female.
A Ukrainian airliner carrying 176 passengers and crew on board clashed near Tehran's Imam Khomeini International Airport earlier today. The majority of passengers were from Iran and Canada. Iran had claimed that the flight data recorders from the airline of the Ukraine International Airliners will not be handed back to the plane maker Boeing or the United States. The Ukraine International Airlines Boeing 737-800 jet, while en route to Kyiv, Ukraine crashed early on Wednesday near Parant, a suburb southwest of the capital Tehran, shortly after takeoff. The plane had taken off from Imam Khomeini International Airport when a fire struck one of its engines. Among the victims were 82 Iranians, 63 Canadians, 11 Ukrainians, including all 9 crew, 10 Swedes, 4 Afghans, 3 Britons and 3 Germans. The Ukrainian Foreign Ministry said. Ukrainian officials said that 169 people had bought tickets for the flight, but 2 had not boarded the plane. Head of the Iran Civil Aviation Organization said that Tehran will analyze the recovered black boxes of the plane in accordance with the International Civil Aviation Organization rules and will not be handed over to the US. He added that Ukrainian investigators would be a part of the process. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky warned against speculation or unchecked theories regarding the catastrophe until officials' reports have been completed. After the crash, Ukrainian International suspended its services to and from Tehran until further notice. A group of government MPs and ministers have arrived at the Bribery Commission this morning. The aim of their visit is to show concern over the fact of not yet receiving a response on the complaints on acts of fraud alleged to have been committed during the previous regime. The group of government parliamentarians who visited the Bribery Commission, including Vasudeva Nanayakara, Mahindananda Algamage, Ramesh Patirana, Kanchana Jayaratne, Janaka Vakkumbura and Mahindayapa Abewardana. State Minister Vasudeva Nanayakara said that 2 years have elapsed and they have made a reminder, but there was no response. The parliamentarian added that finally they have decided to remain the commission once again in light of changes that they have taken place in the country and to call for an investigation. Accordingly to their request, they had been handed over to a female clerk of the commission and she had accepted it. The clerk had also promised to let them know within 1 week of day of commencement of the investigations.
And the Attorney General has submitted a rectified application against the decision of the Colombo magistrate over granting bail for former Minister Rajitha Senaratne regarding the white man media discussion. Coordinating officials of the AG Council, Nishara Jayaratne, said that the rectified application was filed at the Colombo High Court today. Rajitha Senaratne was arrested and placed under detention over the controversial white van media briefing during the presidential election period. The AG's rectified application before the Colombo High Court requested to annul the order given by the Colombo Chief Magistrate. The petition submitted by Attorney General stated that the judiciary has not taken into consideration any of the facts presented by the complaints in the case of granting bail to former Minister Rajitha Senaratne. The AG further says that releasing a suspect on bail for whom a warrant has been issued for arrest in this manner totally contravenes the law. Therefore, he has requested the High Court to conduct a full investigation on the case being examined in the Colombo Magistrate Court.
Iran has carried out a ballistic missile attack on airbase housing U.S. forces in Iraq in relation for a U.S. killing of General Qasem Soleimani. Conflicts between USA and Iran in Middle East region have affected severely on many sectors and trade, including the global oil prices. More than a dozen missiles launched from Iran struck 2 air bases in Erbil and Al-Assad west of Baghdad. It came just hours after the burial of Soleimani, who controlled Iran's proxy forces across the Middle East. This attack was the most direct assault by Iran on US since the seizing of the US embassy in Tehran in 1979. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei said the attack was a slap in the face for the US and called for an end to the US presence in the region region. The US have around 5,000 troops in Iraq tasked with preventing a resurgence of the Islamic State group. US President Donald Trump claimed that the US camp in Iraq targeted by Iranian missile attack had not been severely affected. Iranian parliament had also unanimously passed a bill designating the United States forecast as terrorist. Oil prices have jumped more than 4% with the crisis situation erupted in Middle East. Brent crude oil soared past $70 a barrel today, which was at $62 a barrel on Monday. Also, the global gold price, also stock markets around the world were affected as consequent to the crisis in Middle East. Several major airlines have taken steps to reroute their flight to avoid airspace over Iraq and Iran. Issuing a statement, Sri Lanka's Ministry of Foreign Affairs have urged all parties to act with utmost restraint and maintain peace and security in order to de-escalate the threat to the stability of the region. Sri Lankan Airlines have also alerted the route of its Colombo-London-Colombo flights to avoid the airspace of Iran and Iraq due to the prevailing unsettling situation in the Persian Gulf region. Sri Lankan Airlines have pointed out that the safety of its passengers and the crew members will remain paramount importance of the airline.
And meanwhile, the Visit Nepal 2020 tourism campaign was inaugurated recently in Kathmandu. The aim of the program is to attract 2 million tourists to Nepal in year 2020.
The inauguration of Visit Nepal 2020 campaign took place at Dasarath Stadium in Kathmandu recently. It was organized by the Minister of Tourism in Nepal.
A large number of local and international delegates attended the inauguration, which was formally opened by President of Nepal, Bidya Devi Bandhari, India's Minister of State for Tourism, Prahlad Singh Patel, China's Deputy Tourism Minister, Wang Xiaofeng, Myanmar's Minister for Natural Resources and Environmental Conservation, Yu Ohang Mong, also graced the occasion. Minister for Culture, Tourism and Civil Aviation of Nepal, Yogesh Bhattrai, said that the Visit Nepal year 2020 was only an entry point and that the government was preparing to observe the coming decade as a tourism decade. Tourism is the largest industry in Nepal and the largest source of foreign exchange in revenue. Possessing 8 of the 10 highest mountains in the world, Nepal is a hotspot destination for mountaineers, rock climbers and people seeking adventure. Nepal received 1.2 billion tourists in 2019 and the government is working out a strategy to increase the number of foreign visitors to 2 million in 2020.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here.
Voice tapes containing the alleged telephone conversations of parliamentarian Ranjan Ramanayake and 2 other judges have been released to the media today. Venerable Magarkande Sudat Thera said that 2 voice tapes have surfaced thus far. The Thera said that is an alleged conversation between former Chief Magistrate in Halsdorf Court, Gihan Pilapitia, and MP Ranjan Ramanayake from a voice tape has indicated regarding a third party. The Thera said that they believe the third party should be the former chairperson of the Bribery Commission, Dilrukh Shidaz. In the voice tape, MP Ranjan Ramanayake says that the public have directed a close attention on Fauzi. The person on the other line says that they can be discussed on a later time. In response, MP Ramanayake says that any support will be provided if he could remand him for 2 hours or less in order to safeguard the government. The other person says that this can be done if an approval can be obtained from the maid. MP Ramanayake says that he will communicate to Madam on this regard. The other person says that the judicial system should be saved. Therefore, they are not against granting bail. He also suggested engaging in a conference call with the maid to discussion on this regard. Single organisation has lodged a complaint with the Judicial Service Commission today over the alleged conversation between two persons claimed as two judges and MP Ranjan Ramanayake. Subsequently, they released another voice tape to media containing an alleged conversation of MP Ramanayake with another judge. National Organizer of Single Organisation Pradeep Sanjeeva said that they complained to the Commission regarding the unethical and illegal activities carried out by judges. Dhammika Hemapala and Gihan Pilapitiya together with politicians. He said that the judge Dhammika Hemapala is a judge who ordered verdicts against former Minister Basil Rajapaksa, MP Nama Rajapaksa and Yoshita Rajapaksa at the court in the night. He said that this judge has engaged in discussion with MP Ramanayake and late Professor Carlo Fonseca regarding a few court rulings and several cases filed against MP Ranjan Ramanayake. In the videotape, MP Ranjan Ramanayake inquires whether he would be found guilty over the charges. In response, the unknown person in the tape says that the president should be able to help him on this regard. The MP said that the president told him not to take a step back in what he has started and he is carrying out good work based on truth. He said that he spoke to the truth as a public representative. He added that Ranga Kalansurya has said that the MP would be imprisoned over the defamation case. Then the MP says he would be taken out of the prison. National Organizer of Single Organisation Pradeep Sanjeeva said that the judiciary in the country was considered as a holy place and the ones responsible for these institutions have been engaged in wrongdoingness. He requested the Commission to take necessary action against the court officials at the earliest. The court dismissed a motion filed by parliamentarian Ranjan Ramanayake today pertaining to the disclosure of telephone recordings. And meanwhile, parliamentarian Vijayadas Rajapaksa says that the previous government had engaged in the activities totally disregarding repeated notifications on Easter terror attacks. Testifying before the Presidential Commission investigations, the Easter Sunday terror attack, the MP further said that as a result, all efforts to minimize the destruction were in vain. President's Council and parliamentarian Vijayadas Rajapaksa said that he had repeatedly warned the previous government of a terrorist attack, but then the government had totally neglected these warnings and as a result it had not been able to prevent the terrorist attack. He further said that appropriate persons were not appointed to appropriate places. Parliamentarian Vijayadas Rajapaksa further said that Sri Lanka had been unable to prevent the terror attacks as a result of the institutes that had been politicized, appointing unqualified persons. The MP also said that he had convened all known facts through his statements. President of the Sinhala Ravi Organisation, Venerable Lakshmi Vanadaratna Thera, has also appeared before the Presidential Investigation Commission to give evidence. Former Governor Asad Sali has also testified before the Commission. Leader of the National Unity Front Asad Sali said that the destruction on the 21st would not have occurred had the previous government accepted the facts stated by them. He has also called upon to look into the incident through a presidential investigation. He added that investigation should be conducted to find out who had used Saharan for the attacks.
A draft bill on the withdrawal of the Muslim Marriages and Divorce Act of 1951, number 13, was presented to the Parliament today. Parliamentarian Venerable Athurali Ratanatheru had submitted the bill as a private proposal of the parliamentarian. Parliamentarian Athuraliya Ratanathera said that they submitted today the draft bill on marriage and divorces. He added that similarly he presented the ordinary marriage revision draft bill. The Venerable Thero also said that he had tabled information pertaining to injustices occurred at the court as a result of bringing of Muslim law. He said that this was a draft bill presented in interest of freedom and peace of all people. Venerable Athuraliya Ratanathera further said that this extremist have inactive all his social websites by presenting petition and that he wanted to bring into notice of the fact. Parliamentarian Thusita Wijayamana had presented to Parliament today the draft bill on minimal age of marriage and the amended draft bill on registration of marriages.
And today is the 121st birth anniversary of the founder of Sri Lanka Freedom Party and late Prime Minister W.R.V. Bandaranaike. Main commemorative function was held at the Bandaranaike statue situated in Galle Face this morning. W.R.V. Bandaranaike, who was elected to the post of Prime Minister in 1956, was a leader who had committed to usher an era of the common man. Some of the excellent services that the people had inherited as a result of the rebellion of 56 were the Sinhala language becoming the official language, nationalization of Harbour and Vidyodaya and Vidyalankara Pirivenas turning into universities. It was due to the Bandaranaike vision that Sri Lanka's foreign policy declared as non-aligned declaration of the word Labour Day as a government holiday, the Paddy Land Act and nationalisation of the bus service were among the other special progressive programs of the Bandaranaike government. Former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumartunga and Sonetra Bandaranaike were among others who had placed floral tributes at the Bandaranaike statue in Galle Face this morning. President of the SLFP and former President Maithripala Sirisena has also extended floral tributes. General Secretary of the party, Dayasiri Jayasekara, has shown his respect by garlanding the statue. Many MPs and ministers as well as officials and members of the SLFP were also present.
The Health Ministry says that health workers should commit themselves to make more efficient facilities and patient treatment services at government hospitals. This fact has been retreated at a ceremony held in Colombo today, presided over by Minister Pavitra Wanyarachi today. Projects being implemented to uplift primary health services were evaluated on this occasion. Programs are being implemented in 63 hospitals under a World Bank project at a cost of 36 billion rupees. 20 of hospitals where programs are being implemented were appreciated today. The Mailadi Hospital has secured the first place for implementing people-centered health project under minimal facility. The Bandaragama Hospital was placed second in this connection. The Kiragala Hospital has clinched the third place. Minister Pavitra Wanyarachi said that if people were somehow accustomed to old dietary patterns, Sri Lanka would not become a country which spends 20 billion rupees for medicine every year.
And now a quick update on the stock. The All Shares Price Index closed at 5,898.84 points, dropped by 127.25 points, and the S&P SL20 Index closed at 2,782.45 points, also dropped by 75.54 points at the end of the trading in the Colombo Stock Exchange today. Turnover was over 624 million rupees. Here's a summary of market details of the Colombo Stock Exchange today.
A quick check on the weather before we go. Met Department says that a few showers will occur in eastern and Uva provinces and in Hambantota district. Showers or thunder showers may occur at a few places in Sabaragamu and western provinces and in Galle, Mathura and Nuwara districts in the afternoon or night. Mainly fairy weather will prevail in elsewhere. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in western, central Sabaragamu and Uva provinces during the morning.
And with that, we conclude tonight news. Do it just tomorrow at the very same time. Good night.
Good night.